Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 3-0 Take, where we talk all things Major League Baseball. Here's Kyle Corwin and Nate Reyes. It all starts right now.
Welcome back to the 3-0 Take, presented by Big League Chew. This is episode 293. I'll be your host, Kyle Corwin, and I'm here with my co-host, Nate Reyes. Nate.
We are here.
Some a little healthier than others.
Yeah. I feel like everyone's getting a little something. Not me. I'm good. Feeling good. Looking good. Beard's starting to come back. That's all that matters.
Yeah. That's a much better look for you, friend. Much better.
That was awful. Ah, man, that was terrible. I just can't do it. It's just the roundest, most unattractive face without a beard. It's not good. Everyone I saw was like, "You look like you're 19." I'm like,
You did. You really did. Beards do wonders. It's no mystery.
Yeah, it's our version of makeup. Let's be real. It's just our makeup. That's all.
Yep, I would agree with that. Yours truly come fresh off the COVID, still on the tail
fresh
end
off
of
the
it a little
COVID
bit.
list, eligible to play.
Yep. So, kind of on the tail end of that. So working through that, I was just out of commission. It's been about a week now where I've just done pretty much nothing. I've just sat around the house. We've watched hours and hours and hours and hours of television.
You started New Girl.
Started New Girl. It's
what do you think?
Only because you recommended it. Otherwise, that's probably not a show that I'm checking out. But
it's pretty good, right?
It's off to a good start. It's a little slow based on how you were hyping it up. I was like, all right, I need to give it a little bit longer before I give a fair assessment here. But I mean, it's not bad.
Yeah, no, it gets. Where are you at? First off,
probably the last point at which I told you. I think I'm at like episode 8 or 9. So.
Oh yeah, no, the first season's the worst. Get to like season 3, and then you're like, all right, now I get it, because certain characters start to get better. Winston will become your favorite character, 100%.
All right, I'll give it a chance.
And like the first season, he's super boring. He's not anything. Season 3 or 4, that guy gets weird, and it's funny.
I will give it a chance.
Trust it. I started. I don't recommend this for you. Shameless. Oh, man. It's like a lot to swallow. I don't know if people, it's been around for a minute. It's on like season 11. But I just started it with Paige. We're like halfway through season 2, and it is like
brutal.
Oh, dude, it's just tough. Like it's so extreme. And the name of that show is the most accurate name of any show ever of all time. 100%.
All right. So in shows that Nate recommends, Shameless is not on that list.
It's not for the weak. Let's just say that. It is not for the weak. You have to like set your morals aside when you watch it. It's like you find yourself laughing at stuff where you're like, that's pretty.
That sounds like a horrible show.
Towing the line. It's just different. I don't even know how to explain it, because it is a good show. It's just, yeah.
Speaking of recommendations, want to throw out a plug for the pod. It's been a minute since we made a request. If you are listening to this podcast and you are if you want to call yourself an avid listener, an avid fan, avid follower.
Yeah.
Hit us with a subscribe, or however you want to. I know different platforms do it different ways. Just hit us up with your equivalent of a subscription, whatever that may be. And you know what? Leave us a review. That helps. If we get some good reviews, we might even start doing a review of the day, giving some shout outs to some reviews that we get our way. So
yeah,
if you're what you call a chaser, if you consider yourself one of those, go ahead and leave us a review. Hit the subscribe button.
A 3-0 chaser. Yeah.
Just do us a solid.
And we're just I think we're gonna get back to, we did it a little bit. It's been a minute, but we did it a little bit before. We get back to giving the Chasers some love. And we got a lot of stuff going. So we got the voicemail back up and running. So hit us with the voicemail. And say whatever you want, honestly. If it's a review, if it's a rant, if it's an argument, if it's a comment, if it's just a fan thing, don't care. Say whatever you want. Literally say whatever you want on that voicemail. Just try to keep it, somewhat nice and clean, and I don't need to hear anything crazy in there. But
make my job a little easier with the post editing. I don't want to have to go in there and clean out a completely come on.
Yeah, just be an adult about it for a sec. But yeah, say whatever you want, and you're gonna be on the episode. We're doing that now. This isn't like every once in a while kind of thing. Like, no, you leave a voicemail for us, it's gonna get played. And
well, let's not guarantee it. I mean, it's got to be within
I'm gonna
reason.
guarantee it. It's Nate Reyes guaranteed. It does have to be like somewhat like normal and relevant though. Can't just be like, what do you guys think of Cheez-Its?
I mean, I would welcome that, but I'm talking like just complete off the rails.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, did you see, no free ads, but did you see Taco Bell, that giant Cheez-It thing?
No.
That they're offering? Have you not
seen this? Talk to me
this?
about this, dog. I just started to clean up the diet, so.
So Taco Bell has this, I don't even know the name of it. It's like a, I'm not even going to misspeak here because it's, I don't want to.
You don't mess with Taco Bell.
Taco Bell's Big Cheez-It Tostada. It's a giant Cheez-It that's in the middle of like this Crunchwrap Supreme looking thing. Apparently it's already dead. They already killed it. That's tough luck. I kind of wanted to give that a try. Anyway, go ahead, call the voicemail. The story,
call the voicemail, yeah.
Or the number is on the story.
Yeah.
And then was there something else?
Oh yeah. The other thing we're doing is look, we are a man of the people. We are the people. We do not pretend to be. We've always said this from the beginning. We're not MLB Network analysts. So we're wrong like a lot of the time, when we say stuff and rattle off random stats and years on things and whatever. So let us know. You are going to be able to grade us. And we're going to include all of our errors from the prior episode. So DM us, or you can add that into the voicemail. That's cool too. However you want to go about it. Let us know where we messed up. Let us know what we specifically got wrong in the prior episode, and we will publicly announce that we are wrong. But you got to make sure you're right, because we're going to fact check you.
Yeah, and maybe preface your message with like in all caps. Just say error, or let us know, because a lot of times people just hit us up in the messages, letting us know what we got wrong with no real desire to have the shout out. But like if you want it to be known where we messed up on a certain name or stat,
start it with the error.
Just hit us up with an all caps error, and then let us know what we did, and I will get that on the next episode.
E5 and E6.
Just a bit outside, as Nate wants to call the segment.
Truth. Just a bit outside.
Just a bit outside.
To our guy.
All right.
Euchre.
Nate, it's time to get into some baseball talk. I know we're a little deep.
Weird.
We had some housekeeping to take care of.
Huh.
Let's run through the All-Star voting, shall we? Voting ends Friday. So we're gonna go ahead and vote for our lineups based on the options that have been made available to us. And so we're just going to run through. Let's just run through position by position, covering both leagues rather than do one and then do the other.
Yeah, that works for me. That works.
All right, so starting at first base, starting in the American League. You voting for Vladdy or Ty France?
This one's tough, dude. Because, like, Vladdy's got 19 home runs at this moment, where Ty only has 10. But Ty France has 50 points, higher batting average, higher OPS, and he's missed time. I feel like Vladdy is going to be in a million of these things for his career. Whereas, Ty Francis might be the only opportunity. But he has been hurt for, he's on the IL right now. He's been hurt for the last week.
And as we were reminded, the All-Star game is sneaking up on us, man. It's already July 7th. I don't know where the time's going, but it's coming up.
I think I got to go Vladdy.
I will agree with your sentiment that it's like
Vladdy's gonna have a bunch.
Just get Ty in there, man. This might be his only chance.
You want to go with Ty? I'm going Ty.
I'm not going
with
Ty.
My heart.
No,
I'm going with my heart.
No. See, you cut me off here. I said I agree with your sentiment that Ty. It's a shame that Ty probably won't be able to get in there. But again, this goes back to, we're not voting for popularity here. We're not voting for feel-good stories. We're voting for all-star. Believe it or not, last of a dying breed, if you will. Maybe you and I are two of the last remaining people that actually vote for all-stars to be elected to the all-star game. So with that said,
I think it's just a different story where I don't think you can put feel good and popularity in the same category. You know what I'm saying?
You can, in that doesn't equal all-star status. Just because you're popular, and I'm not saying Ty France is like a feel-good story. He's a good ball player, but that's kind of how I'm characterizing his situation. He's having a great year. But
all right, that's fair.
To your point, you're like, well, I mean, just get Ty in there. To me, once you go down that rabbit hole, then you're like, all right, this is kind of a feel-good story.
Well, here's what I will say is Luis Arias should be in this voting right now.
Yeah,
and he should be qualified at one of these positions. So that's bugging me a little bit.
Yeah, we'll get into his numbers a little bit later on, but absolutely should be in there.
All right, I'll go Vladdy.
But look,
you're right. You're right. No, you're right.
This is the hand we've been dealt. We can't complain about names that aren't on here because we talked about that at length.
Yeah.
About how this has turned into a popularity contest. And so, you know what? This is the fate the game has been dealt because these are the people. This is what the people wanted, apparently. National League.
It's got to be the NL MVP favorite right now, Paulie Goldschmidt.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy one. I'm sure Mets fans would, for some unknown reason, disagree, but
whatever.
That's pretty easy. Paul Goldschmidt. Second base in the AL.
This is light. This is a light finalist right here. This doesn't get me fired up at all.
It doesn't, but it's pretty clear in my opinion.
Yeah, it's Altuve.
Jose Altuve.
Oh, weird. Both National League second basemen are hurt. Cool.
Weird.
Sweet. Really, really glad fans just love to pay attention.
That gets me really fired up for the All-Star game.
Jazz Chisholm isn't even swinging a bat right now, and Ozzy Albies is sitting on a couch. So, of these numbers, I'm going to lean towards Jazz. I mean, he's leading in all those categories. He's hitting 10 points better than average. He's got 6 more home runs. He's got 12 more RBIs. And he's got almost 200 higher OPS points than Ozzy Albies. So I'm going Jazz.
Yeah, it's pretty clear cut. Maybe they just won't have a second baseman play. Maybe it'll just be a hole.
Yeah. Just add a fourth outfielder. You do that on a regular basis anyway. This one's tough, dude. This one's spicy.
Whoa. This one's spicy
for the AL. Rafi Devers hitting almost 330 with 17 jacks, 46 ribeyes, a 962 OPS. Jose Ramirez with a 285. I mean, that's a significant difference. Just one less home run. He does have 63 RBIs and a 939 OPS. I guess I just didn't realize what... I knew Rafi Devers was having a good year. I just didn't realize it was this. Like, I didn't realize it was like top 3 AL MVP type stuff. And I do believe I had him in my AL MVP race, didn't I? I think I had him in the top
Pretty
5.
sure I had Rafi winning the AL.
Did
MVP.
you?
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I had him up there. Well, I'm going Rafi.
Yeah, I'm going Rafi too.
Yeah.
And I'm curious. I'm curious. What is not that this matters, but I feel, at least for us and our perspectives, I feel like how often you're out on the field is a huge factor. Like if you're out
it has to be
playing games, that has to carry some weight.
Yeah.
And I'm curious because I know where Rafi stands on this, but I'm curious: is Jose Ramirez? He doesn't take many off days, right?
I don't think so, honestly. I think he's
played in 77 games. We just hit the halfway mark. So I mean, I think him and Rafi are probably pretty close in that category.
He's played 77 games.
Yeah, Rafi's played 78. So
that's awesome.
Neck and neck, which you love to see. Like, you just love knowing you got a cornerstone piece that's going to be out there all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
That goes a long way. People might disagree. And look, we'll get into it a little later with some guys who are reliable, that are horses, guys you can count on.
Mm-hmm.
That's just not, you just don't see that as much anymore.
Yeah.
And I really think, especially when you're as talented as guys like these are, I mean, that goes a long way. But yeah, all that to say, I think I'm going Rafi third base. National League.
I think Nolan has surpassed Manny Machado at this point, numbers wise. Manny missed time with that ankle.
Yeah, and since coming back, he hasn't been swinging it that great, which we'll get into that a little bit later. But
I think I had to go Nolan. I mean, he's the only thing he's down on is average is 295, which is still really good nowadays. Manny Machado's at 316. Nolan has 17 jacks, 5 more than Manny.
Yeah, I mean, I think the conversation's a little different if Nolan's hitting 255, but
right.
I mean, you're pushing 300.
Yeah, and then even the OPS is kind of a wash. Nolan's 890 to Manny Machado's 915. So if we got 5 more home runs, 9 more RBIs, I think I'm going Nolan.
Which is an interesting change in perspective because
big time.
2 weeks ago we're probably saying Manny Machado's still the
MVP favorite.
MVP favorite. I mean, that's what missing some time can do, man. But that's just the reality of this game.
Yeah.
Shortstop.
What is going on? What are with these like very average AL shortstop performances? What happened to Xander? What's going on there?
He got snubbed, man. He got snubbed because the Blue Jays fans came out in droves. Xander Bogaerts right now, he's hitting 314 with 34 ribbies, OPS 845, OPS plus a 134.
How many home runs?
He's only got 7. He's been slow on the power front thus
All
far.
of that is still better than TA. Everything you just read off is better than TA.
He's tied in average. He's got 2 more bombs than TA, has 14 more ribbies than TA, and has an OPS of 845, which is significantly higher than TA's 779.
60 points higher. What?
Look, dude, I'm not gonna get upset about it. The fact that the fact that people can't see that Xander Bogaerts is having a better year than Tim Anderson.
It's also a little bit of a disadvantage when you can probably assume that every baseball fan in Canada is leaning towards a Blue Jay. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, Bo Bichette is very underwhelming with these numbers. This is not an all-star to me. Hitting 257, 13 home runs is not bad. 44 RBIs, it's pretty good. 730
for a
OPS.
Shortstop
in
the American League.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
These are the options you're putting out there? Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Has Correa missed that much time?
I think Correa's got the popularity working against him a little bit. He's hitting 286 with 9 bombs, 29 ribbies, OPS at 813. He's not exactly tearing the cover off the ball.
Again, better than TA. I think I'm going with Bo Bichette just out of principle here because 8 more home runs, 24 more RBIs, basically the same OPS, 30 points lower, 40 points lower, 50 points lower. Still, I think I'm going Bo Bichette just because TA is just like he's missed a lot of time too.
Yeah, these options are
awful,
just terrible. Shortstop in the National League.
Every Braves fan is just absolutely losing their mind over Dansby.
Not gonna lie, it's a little closer than I thought.
It is, but every time I see graphics or hear about Dansby Swanson, it's like NL MVP, and I'm like, no, I don't think so.
Which is a joke, and I'm not gonna let Braves fans forget about this. Braves fans wanted Dansby out of town.
Yeah,
like that's just a reality, and they're gonna sit there and say this or that as to why they were feeling those things at that particular point in time. But it's like, look, that's what you said. That's what you wanted. You wanted to move on to a new franchise shortstop. But now all of a sudden, because Dansby's turned it around, you can't just all of a sudden lump him into the NL MVP conversation. And that's not how that works.
No, it isn't.
Especially when he's not even the best shortstop.
He's not even fifth.
Right there. Like, look, available.
You got Paul Goldschmidt, you got Pete Alonso, you got Nolan, you got Manny Machado. That's 4 guys right away that are going to be above him in MVP voting. So relax. Look, he is having a better year than what he's typically had. Maybe a little bit of a breakout season. I'm still in the belief that Dansby Swanson is not a top 5 shortstop in baseball. I'm sorry.
Agreed.
He can do that for a week or two, but I haven't seen that for a full year. So I don't understand why Braves fans are so quick to freak out. You know what I mean? Yes, he's a good piece. Yes, he's a part of your success. Understood. But don't sit here and tell me he's an MVP candidate. No. I'm not having that conversation. And if I'm wrong, in September, October, we can really round up this conversation and just wrap it all up, put a bow on it. I'll admit it. But as of right now, I'm going to tell you that Dansby Swanson is not going to be in that conversation. He's doing good. He's staying hot, which is fine. That's it. That's all I got for you. That is all I got for you. But between these two, how do you feel about him versus Trey Turner?
I think I got to go Trey Turner. I think I got to stick with what I said when the ballots first came out.
Yeah,
because in my opinion, not enough has changed for me to change my mind. So I think I'm sticking Trey.
3.2 WAR for Dansby versus a 2.6 WAR for Trey Turner. Trey Turner has played 81 games. Dansby has played 83. Which props to both of them. Playing shortstop every day is not easy.
Yep.
So that's dope. They both have the same OPS plus 131. It's close. It is close. I'll give you credit on that, Braves fans. But
Braves fan, look,
I think I'll go Dansby. Why not? Whatever.
Okay, here we go. So, Braves fans crack me up because this is a guy that we think sucks, but only we're allowed to say he sucks because he's our guy.
Yeah.
Like, that's the logic that Braves fans have. And that goes with anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been saying that for years.
Yeah, because if you throw any shade about Freddie, look out. Braves fans will fight to the death. But at the same time, you have a lot of Braves fans that are like, you seen that guy wearing the Braves jersey, number 5, and it says Trader on the back instead of Freeman? You see that guy? There's a lot of Braves fans that feel that way.
I mean, there was Braves fans that were booing him the entire weekend he was back in town. They did the standing O for his first AB, and then the rest of the weekend they were booing him. So don't tell me.
I think Braves fans might be getting a little irrational, just a little bit, and I like it because
Braves fans are extremely irrational.
I like it, dude. I'm here for it because look, you and I are both among fan bases that can be irrational, and that's cool. We need more in this category, so I'm fine with it. If you guys want to be weird, be weird. I think I'll give the slight edge to Dansby at this point. The 3.6 WAR, or whatever it was, versus the 4.2, something like that for Dansby. So
no, it was
3.6 to 3.2. Is that what it was?
Yeah, something like that.
2.6 for Trey Turner.
2.6, yeah.
3.2 for Dansby. So I'll give him the edge for now, but don't sit here and tell me he's an MVP candidate. Stop it.
By the way, did you know? I need to double check here. Speaking of WAR, did you know? I think Rafael Devers is like first in WAR in some specific category. I don't know if it's over a certain stretch or if it's just among third baseman
at the moment. Tied with Judge, by the way.
Tied with Judge, that's what it was, yeah. Yeah, which puts into perspective what Rafi's doing. I don't know. Not to go back to Rafi, but you mentioned WAR and it reminded me. I feel like that needed to be shared. Where are we at here? Catcher for the American League. I mean, based on numbers, I think it's pretty clear cut here. Alejandro Kirk. He's hitting 317 with 10 bombs, 33 ribbies, and an OPS of 904.
Yeah. And I think the only thing is, look, he's not necessarily splitting time so much right now. He's played 73 games where Trevino has only played 54. So I feel like if you give Trevino another 19 games, wherever that difference was, I think you're going to see very similar numbers. But it just comes down to playing time. And, I mean, Kirk has done well. He's hitting over, 317 is pretty good. So, 904 OPS is nothing to... It's better than shortstops. So, yeah, it's crazy. Alejandro Kirk is better than both shortstop.
Yeah, that's when you should be concerned.
Yeah.
That's when you really need to look in the mirror.
Yeah.
As a voter and say, what have we done to the position of shortstop, specifically for the American League, when the catcher that we're putting in is better than the short? That should never be the case.
No.
Unless you're maybe Sal Perez in 2021.
Yeah.
Maybe. But that should never be the case, ever.
I would agree with you.
It's shameful.
Do you have any other AL shortstops in mind, by the way? I mean, I threw out Correa out there, but like, I don't know how JB Crawford's doing.
I mean, I know Jeremy Pena's having a rookie of the year type campaign.
He's been hurt, though, hasn't he? I think he got hurt for a little bit.
I think he did.
He was a stud. That was a tough trade for me to give him up, by the way. I did not like that. He does have a 3.3 WAR. He's played 63 games, which is more than TA.
Corey Seager's got 16 bombs. He's only hitting 233, though. OPS is 724, so.
Give me Jeremy Pena over Tim Anderson.
Jeremy Pena's got 12 bombs. OPS is 792. 31 ribbies.
He's got a 3.3 WAR. TA has a 1.6. Get out of here. Why is TA on this finalist list? I don't understand that. I don't get that. Also, very injured all the time. Get out of here. I'm not buying into the hype, honestly. I'm just not buying into it. You do all your bat flips that you want. I'm not buying into the hype.
National League catcher.
Where's the other Contreras
for
brother? Is he doing better than Travis d'Arnaud? Why isn't he on this list? William Contreras. 10 home runs, hitting 267. That's
OPS a 904, OPS plus a 144.
Yeah, he probably should be above Travis d'Arnaud. But hey, that's a good duo right there. Good for the Braves on that. That is when you're getting that kind of production offensively out of both your catchers, that's something that sets you apart. But for this, I'm going Wilson Contreras.
Also going for Wilson Contreras. Outfield in the AL.
Shout out to Judge for already locking it in. So we only got 2 left here. Lourdes Gurriel, George Springer, Stanton, and Mike Trout. These numbers don't jump off the page either. I think I would go Trout and Springer. Nah. I think I'd go Trout and
Stanton.
Yeah, Trout and Stanton. Yeah, he leads in home runs, RBIs, OPS over Springer. Yeah, I'll go Trout and Stanton. It's crazy that Mike Trout is having like a very below Mike Trout standard year. Still having 981 OPS.
23 bombs.
Yeah. It's a very
National
down year
League
for him. That's so crazy.
National League, Acuna's got the top spot locked in.
How?
I don't know, dude.
I mean, he's been okay. Played 49 games.
Once you realize, and this is the last time I'm gonna say it. Once you realize that this is a popularity contest, that you're no longer angry. You're like, all right, you know what? If this is what we're going for, if this is what it's become now, then these choices become a lot easier. It's like, all right, this is who the people are putting out there.
Yeah.
This is what we had to choose from. And so these names are what we had to choose from. Acuna has already been locked in, even though he hasn't been playing.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at. So I'm tired getting worked up over it.
Sucks.
Xander Bogaerts for me was one of the more obvious snubs of this whole deal. I'm sure there's more. Luis Arraez is another one we talked about.
Yeah.
It's not an all-star game anymore.
No.
It's just not.
It's really
But with
not.
that said, National League outfield, you got Acuna. I don't even know. Like, if you're Adam Duvall, we have to have like a Mendoza threshold here. I mean, he's hitting 205, an OPS of 646.
I don't understand.
Are you?
That's awful.
The incompetency of fans sometimes just blows my mind.
I think I'm going Mookie and Jock.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably go those two as well. Doesn't get me excited, but it's where we're at.
Yeah.
Designated hitter.
Jordan, baby. My guy. And even then, I think we got to chill on calling him a DH, dude. He's played like probably half his games in left field.
Well, he's getting in as a reserve. Like, let's just go ahead and accept that.
That Shohei's going in above him.
Without a doubt. You got the same people that are putting Adam Duvall in the contention for an all-star game are going to be the same people that are going to be voting between Yordan Alvarez and Shohei Ohtani. I'm sorry. That's just where we're at.
Just to run through it, if you don't know, Yordan has a 313 batting average. Shohei is at 259. Yordan has 25 home runs. Shohei has 18. Yordan has 58 RBIs. Shohei has 53. An OPS of 1071 for Yordan versus 839 for Shohei. Yeah, but he does both. Shut up. Yordan deserves this spot. It's his. I'm going Yordan.
I have no comment. I already shared what I needed to share. It's a joke.
There's William Contreras sliding
across the league there. William Contreras.
Still going Bryce. I don't care if he's hurt. He put up numbers that deserve the vote. Still going Bryce. He put up the numbers.
And that's the thing. And the Phillies have been tweeting about it too. Is Bryce came out to such a strong start that he's still holding up in certain statistical categories. Across the league, and he's been out now for a minute. And even when he was still available, he was on and off missing time. So I mean, the fact that he
still got numbers way better than Dansby Swanson. A lot of shade. That's my last one. I'm sorry. That's my last one.
Look, it is what it is.
It needed to be said, Braves fans. You're getting a little too worked up over this.
Braves fans feeling themselves. Always.
Yeah.
Always. And as we all know, the pitching is selected by the manager, so we'll leave that conversation for another day. All right. There's our ballot. Nate, speaking of some pitching, I wanted to highlight some names of some guys and just run through real quick some names who've had some performances worth noting that maybe we haven't given enough love to at this point in the season. Starting first and foremost, Sandy Alcantara. You and I were texting about him.
My goodness.
The other day.
I'm putting him in the NL MVP over Dansby Swanson, by the
way. 11 consecutive starts of 7+ innings.
I love that, dude.
I love it too. And I know that when you texted me that the other day, my response was, I feel like that used to be the norm just across baseball.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, the game has shifted a little bit.
I think it's starting to cycle back a little bit. I think it's coming back.
I'm with you. I think I don't know if I would. I know the last time we talked about this, I maybe chalked it up to ego. Like you got these guys now.
Yeah.
That you're not going to tell them that they're only going 5 innings because you don't want them to see the third time through the lineup. They're like, no, I'm good enough to see the lineup the third time, so I'm going to keep the ball.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you 7-8+.
And that's what I like about. I mean, overall, the Marlins. It's. I think we can call it a year. You know what I mean? But we can say that they're still going to compete. There's still pride in that dugout. With Donnie Baseball leading the charge, and I know Miami fans aren't that high on Donnie Baseball anymore, but I think that old school mentality is good for a little bit of a cultural shift. And if the Marlins can hold on to Pablo, and they've got a little something cooking with those two as a 1-2 punch. And I like that Alcantara's like, no, I'm the guy. Like, I am the guy. I'm the horse. When you see him on MLB Central and MLB Network doing interviews and stuff, he goes, no, I'm the guy. And I'm throwing a CG every time I go out there. That's my mentality. And I love that. Why not? Get yours, bro. Do your thing and lead the charge.
His last start went 8 innings, 2 hits, gave up 0 runs, and had 10 punchies. Leads the National League in ERA with a mark of 1.82. Leads all of I love this. Leads all of baseball in games started with 17. Leads all of baseball in innings pitched with 123 1/3. and leads all of baseball in ERA plus at 2.28. So the guy,
give him the Cy Young now.
The guy's doing his thing.
Yeah,
you're giving him the Cy Young right now.
Yeah, I think he's in MVP conversations. We talk about just value of what he brings. Most valuable player. He would immediately... The thing is that he's not just... You can look at him as the ace of the Marlins staff, but you can also say, if anybody was to... Obviously, he's locked down, so he's not going anywhere. But if anyone was able to trade for him, you could argue that he would step into that same role anywhere else. There's maybe a handful of places where he's not an ace. He's having a good year. Yeah, Cy Young. Come at me.
I love it. Hey, feeling spicy today.
Yeah.
Another guy that needs some love. Kyle Schwarber, 27 bombs, 55 ribbies, and an OPS plus of 146.
R.I.P. Washington Nationals, by the way.
He has the most home runs in his first 80 career games with the Phillies, again with 27. He's coming off back-to-back multi-home run games. He has 16 home runs since June 1st, and he's on pace to hit 50. Do we see Kyle Schwarber moved yet again at the deadline in the same fashion that he was moved to Boston in 2021?
No. I think there's a lot offensively that you're going to see from the Phillies. And I don't think that they're not going to do. I mean, I think they're done. I personally don't think they're going to make a run at the division. They may sneak into the second spot, third spot for the wild card. And I think they're going to start to turn it on a little bit. You're going to start to see guys. I mean, Rhys Hoskins has had a good year. You're going to see Real Muto get going again. Schwarber in the middle of that. Schwarber's just kind of taking that baton and running with it. I don't think he's going anywhere because they're going to do enough to stay in the hunt.
I tell you what, with Harper out, Schwarber has done an excellent job at, I mean, I don't know if keeping you afloat is the best way to say it, but for lack of a better way of saying it, giving you the offense that you needed in Harper's absence.
Yeah. Also hitting 4 home runs against your former team. It's got to feel pretty good in 2 days. Sorry, Nats.
Yeah, Kyle Schwarber loves hitting in the month of June, and apparently also July.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's cool, man. He has his own methods. You remember when he was hurt during the Cubs postseason run when they inevitably won the won it all?
Back.
You remember how he had like something broken, right? Wasn't it like an arm or like a leg or something? It was something like a serious injury. He was out all year, and all he did was sit there and just track pitches. He couldn't swing. He couldn't hit. He just sat there in the machine and just tracked pitches. And that's the kind of guy he is. I think he is. I don't think he gets enough credit for how much he studies hitting and the type of work he puts in. And it's starting to pay off for him. And I like that. That's good for him.
Yeah, he's swinging it, and he's given, at the very least, giving Phillies fans something to be excited about and come to the ballpark to watch, because obviously their MVP is out right now, and later reports show that he still plans on coming back. I know I was watching a clip of his interview the other day, and I'm not sure if he's going to try to accelerate the timetable or if he's just going to let it play out based on what happens with the club. Yeah. In the meantime.
Also,
I feel like would be the smart way to go. But
why is he not in any type of category for All-Star voting?
Who's that?
Schwarber. Why is he not in the outfield list? He's leading the NL in home runs.
Because people are idiots, Nate.
This system is broken.
People are idiots. Another guy, Luis, we already talked about Luis Ariz, hitting 354 with an 880 OPS and an OPS plus of 156. Leads all of baseball with his batting average of 354 and leads the American League in on base at 425. I saw something. This may come up in the errors segment, so somebody may flag me here. But I'm pretty sure I saw something that said he has the third highest batting average over the last 3 years.
Really?
And he's up there with some good company too. I didn't get the names of the other guys, and I've been seeing a lot of Rod Carew comps.
I get that. I see that.
If you haven't seen that graphic, type in Luis Ariz, Rod Carew, and that graphic will come up. You'd be surprised at where our friend Luis Ariz is in terms of what he's done thus far.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, he's... You
got one of the greatest hitters of all time, and Luis Ariz is right there.
He's just a multi-hit machine. And the fact that he can play literally wherever you want and can get you with that occasional pop. You know, he's only 4 jacks on the year, but still, I mean, like, if he finishes the year with 10 or 12 home runs, you're like, okay. And he hits over 340. What more could you want? And he plays anywhere in the infield for you. He can pick it at first. Like, that is an incredible piece right there. Yeah, he's fun to watch.
It kind of reminds me of Big Daddy Mac, my MLB The Show guy.
Your big utility guy?
I didn't know if I told you that, but I got back into that recently.
Did you?
And actually just
been at home for the last week?
Literally have left the house maybe once in the last 7 days. So I decided to get back in MLB The Show, continue my road to the show guy. I can proudly report, Angels fans just know that this isn't reality. This isn't a video game, but Big Daddy Mac, third baseman of the LA Angels, did carry his team to a World Series victory last night.
Good for you.
Took down the Padres of all teams in the 2024 World Series. I think I finished the year hitting .598, and I had, I think, 249 bombs.
Wow.
Yeah,
I think
that's a pretty good year.
I think that's
a pretty good year.
Yeah.
And it was funny because I simmed to the off season.
Got to.
And then it stopped. It stopped the simulation. And it said you're set to go to arbitration, and it said set your figure. And I just went max. The highest I could go was $31 million. And it came back and said, you won your case. So I said,
yeah,
that's all I care
break
about.
Records.
Yeah.
So man.
That was just another year for
solid.
Good old Big Daddy Mac.
Solid. Yeah. I mean, just going back to Arias, it's so cool having a piece like that can bounce around anywhere. He's played 32 games at first this year, 27 at second, 13 games at DH, 6 games at third, for a total of 75 games.
Baseball Reference can't even keep up with how versatile this guy is. He's not even listed as a first baseman on Baseball Reference.
Yeah. He is in my fantasy team, though, and I'm a fan. I am a fan.
Gotta love that. Gotta love that versatility. Lastly here, Nate, another guy that, at least for our standards and for this show, has gone relatively under the radar. Justin Verlander, at age 39, was the first pitcher to 10 wins this year. Holds an ERA with at a 2.03 mark, which is 4th in all of baseball.
And your boys' AL Cy Young pick this year.
Also on your fantasy team.
Also on my fantasy team.
Also on your fantasy team. You got a pretty solid squad this year. He's got 90 Ks, which, if you look at the numbers, is not even in the top 25 in all of baseball.
Yeah, and I think
he's been known as a strikeout guy, but something we've talked about is he's a guy that's able to adapt as he ages, and he's doing it very effectively.
Him and Scherzer just set this standard of carrying over the old school legacy and mentality of what they started their career with or grew up watching and wanted to emulate. And when you talk about, Smoltz and Glavine and like those kinds of guys that are just built to last, And you get this new generation, and I say new because they're on their way out, but this other generation of the Verlanders and the CC Sabathias and they start to lose that velocity. Look, Max Scherzer, Justin Verlander, they're not throwing 100 anymore. It's not what they have in the bag as much. And they're learning how to pitch, and he's learning how to pitch. And that is impressive because he's reinventing how he goes about it. And that's scary. That's scary because you know that with that strikeout number being that low, it's not like the strikeout ability just went away. I think he's just doing what he can to stay efficient right now. And then you see him in the postseason, and I bet those strikeout numbers return, and he starts to get that, that adrenaline and that rush. I feel like guys like this just kind of coast through the regular season in my mind. It's just, I'm going to do what I need to stay sharp, to stay in tune, and they're finding a way to stay healthier. And then they're just waiting. They're just prepping for the postseason, and then just look out.
He's thrown 6+ innings a dozen times this year, and has thrown scoreless outings in 6 of them, allowed 1 earned run or fewer in 10 of them, and 3 or fewer earned runs in 13 of those 15.
Yeah, we're talking AL Cy Young and potentially AL Comeback Player of the Year as well. Might as well give them both.
For the sake of time, I wanted to expand on this a little bit, but we're going to have to cover a few things before we get to our wrap up. But yes or no, in your opinion, is Houston the only team, as we just got done talking about Verlander, is Houston the only team in your mind right now that can beat New York?
Yeah, they're definitely going to give them a run for their money. That little series down in Houston showed a lot. And, to be fair, I think you're kind of catching the Yankees at like this very low point right now offensively, and then the Astros are really riding high. So I don't think they're both at like their strongest points quite yet. Come postseason, yeah, I'd be scared. The Astros are going to add Lance McCullers back into the mix. There's rumors about them adding and trading for Wilson Contreras. So I think that there's some things that the Astros are going to do to get better. But yeah. I think the average baseball fan can say they don't worry about Justin Verlander in the postseason. And the average fan can also say that's not the case with Garrett Cole. And those are two, those are guys that have to go for their respective teams to go. So it'll be interesting. But yeah, I would say the Astros can definitely give the Yankees a run for their money.
Nate, want to mention a few guys that are coming back from injury, but before we do that, tell the folks about our presenting sponsor.
BLC, Big League Chew. Sorry. Founded by former left-handed pitcher Rob Nelson, Big League Chew started from humble beginnings in the Portland Mavericks bullpen in 1977. For more than 40 years, the iconic pouches packed with shredded, flavorful bubble gum has become the number one shredded gum of athletes everywhere. Big League Chew has sold more than 900 million pouches and is designated as the Hall of Fame bubblegum. Grab some gum and head to Big League Chew's social media channels at Big League Chew on Twitter, at Big League Chew Gum on Instagram to show off your Big League bubbles. You can also find a list of retailers that purchase any of their products directly from their website at BigLeagueChew.com. BLC, Big League Chew, the boys, the squad. Big League Chew.
Big League Chew. Nate, we got a couple guys come back from injury who are just the kind of guys that can make an immediate impact upon return, and they have. Eloy Jimenez coming back for the White Sox, activated from the 60-day IL, homers in his return. It's his first game in over 2 months. Was able to start in the outfield, which is good news for them. Get on those feet, move around a little bit. Because if you recall, it was a right hamstring strain that set him back in April. And he's feeling good. He says it's one of those days you feel like, yeah, I'm back. So could not have come at a better time for the White Sox.
Heck of a quote, Eloy. Heck of a quote. Yeah, I mean, look, when you look at the White Sox, it's just A.J. Pollock should not be starting every day. That's just not why they added him. That's not what they had in mind. And, Luis Robert has been, it's been okay. But I think just getting a bat like that back into the lineup is going to protect a lot of guys. And Jose Abreu and Luis Robert and TA, those guys are going to, Grandal are going to benefit from this. So look, I think it's just a matter of time that the White Sox start to catch a little bit of fire, right? They got to get going a little bit. At what point is it too late? When are we going to say, like, you got to go, you got to get things going?
Which is why I'm saying this could not have come at a better time, because I mean, good news for them. Also, you get Liam Hendricks back.
Right.
He's off the IL, so hopefully that'll eliminate some question marks at the end of these ball games, and you can rest a little easier when you get to that point.
Yeah.
If and when. But I mean, having a guy being able to close games for you doesn't matter if you're not able to produce.
Right. On
the other side of the ball. So having a guy that can mash the way Eloy does, that's good news for the White Sox.
Yeah, I mean,
and hopefully we'll make this race a little more interesting.
It's not good. They're negative 44 in run differential. They're 2 games under 500, 5.5 back from the Twins in the division, and 4.5 back in the wild card. And how are you worse than the Mariners? How are you worse than the Guardians? Look at your roster. What's going on? I'm very confused. This is very underwhelming. I'd be pissed if I was a White Sox fan. This has to turn around at some point. So I'm going to give them until the All-Star break, truthfully. That's how long I'm going to give them. I'm going to give them till the All-Star break, and if they're not within 3 games of the division, I think you might have to consider selling some pieces and just punting on the year. Fire Tony, punt, and trade some guys and start to go with a mini rebuild. Just a little mini one. But you have a lot of promising pieces. And Moncada looks like he's just a shell of himself. I don't understand what's going on with him. And, Jose Abreu is getting up there in age. Yasmani is, getting up there in age for a catcher. Is it time for the new wave to come through? Is it time to let these Andrew Vaughns and Ben Sheets get more playing time and just let them settle in as a major league player? If so, it's time to maybe sell some pieces. But
Gavin Sheets, by the way.
Gavin Sheets, my apologies. There's a Ben Sheets back in the day, right?
There was. I'm catching us from getting dinged on the errors right away.
I think Jose Abreu
save you the trouble.
Contract. What does that look like? He is done. He's said to be a free agent next year at the age of 36.
At the end of this year?
Yep. Free agent at 2023, the age of 36.
Very interesting.
If they're not in the hunt, why not? Boston Red Sox?
They need to hold their own.
That would be interesting, right? That would be interesting.
They need to keep this shit moving.
Tampa Bay Rays? I could see him as a Ray.
Who knows?
I really could.
Yeah. Could see it. Like you said, if you're not in the hunt, why not? Get something for him. Another guy coming back, Max Scherzer, making his first start since May 18th on Tuesday. Classic Max fashion, 6 innings pitched, no runs, 11 Ks. But as the Mets do, they go ahead and lose the game 1-0 to the last place Reds. Because why else would you want to score runs when you have your best pitcher out there? This is the 3rd time in Scherzer's past 4 starts that they have scored 2 or fewer runs. So it seems as though the DeGrom effect has
transferred,
caught hold of Max Scherzer. And speaking of which, another guy, Jacob deGrom, hoping to have him back soon. I don't know if they have an exact date on that yet.
Do you see that rehab start?
But yeah, wasn't he hitting
102?
Yeah. Gross.
But you see him like warming up for the game, and like literally every pitcher just hanging out behind the mound watching. It was.
I would too.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like that in professional baseball. I think that's really, really cool. And I don't know if maybe one or a couple pitchers started that trend, say, hey, I want to go watch deGrom. Maybe the pitching coach is like, everybody go back there and watch. But I just think like it's an amazing, I think that would be an amazing experience for guys that you're probably looking at a few of those guys that'll never make it. A few of those guys that'll just never, crack the seal and get to the big. So to watch a guy like that, to watch one of the greatest, he literally is one of the greatest pitchers of all time. I don't know if he's going to go down as the cumulative, career stat wise on that Mount Rushmore for pitchers, but during this period of time, he is looking like, yeah. So say what you will about the Mets, if both of those are coming back healthy and they've just been treading water for the last month, look out.
Yeah, but look, people keep saying that. Well, the Mets have done what they've done without deGrom and Scherzer. If they come back and you continue to do what you've done for them historically in terms of run support, it doesn't matter.
I think it's different, dude. I really do. I think it's different. This is a tired take.
You've been saying that. You've been saying that all year,
still leading the
and
division.
now by 2.5 games. What was it like a month and a half ago?
Matter? Did we really think
it does?
We really
matter.
thought this division was going to be a landslide? Come on. We knew this division was not going to be a landslide.
I never said that, but you can't just keep feeding me the line of, well, when Scherzer and deGrom get back, look at what they've been doing without those
20 games over 500.
If they come back and you have now transferred the deGrom effect from deGrom, if you keep doing what you're doing for deGrom and then you transfer that to Scherzer as well, it's not going to matter.
They have the fourth
it's just
best
not going to
record
matter.
in baseball.
You're not hearing what I'm saying. I'm not talking about record. I'm talking about what you historically do for those guys or for one of them. But if you're going to start doing it for both of them, it doesn't matter.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
I think it's different, dude, because historically we're talking about...
You've established that you think it's different.
Historically, we're talking about lack of run support for deGrom, right, over his career as a Met. This is an entire new lineup. This is an entirely new setup. We're talking about an old school manager that is willing to send guys in motion, willing to get hit and runs going, willing to bunt. Yes, one start with Scherzer's return against the Reds. Whatever. Yes, I know his last 3 or 4 starts. Whatever. I'm telling you that this team is going to act different after the All-Star break when they start to turn it on and they start to go on this playoff push. We're seeing every ounce of everything squeezed out of the Braves. They are putting everything in to try and stay in the hunt. We're talking about 2 of the game's best pitchers not playing for the Mets, and they're still 20 games over 500. Don't tell me this is the same Met team. It's not. It's not. Yes, the Braves are good. They are really good, and they're going to give them a run for their money, and they're probably going to finish. Those 2 are going to be within 5 games of each other when it's all said and done. But this Mets team in the postseason will be a problem. 100%. And it doesn't matter how they get there.
Ooh, I can't wait to read the comments on this quote card.
All right.
Nate Reyes, this Mets team in the postseason will be a problem. 100%. Ooh.
Send it.
I hate to throw you to the wolves like that.
I will be sitting on top of Mount Everest in this comment section. And if I'm not, the people that hating on it are just haters, dude. They're just Mets haters, which is cool. You got to hate somebody. It's fine. You can hate the Yankees. You can hate the Mets. You can hate the Dodgers. It's all good. Not a big deal. These teams, the Mets are just getting into this conversation of being this way. And I think the Mets are going to continue to be this way more than just this year. They're going to continue this trend over and over again with this new owner. And you could see Buck managing for another 7 or 8 years. You really could. I bet he does. Because he is going to not single-handedly, but I mean, basically in that clubhouse single-handedly, change what it means to be a Met. And they're going to go through a stretch where this window will be open for a while because they have an owner that's willing to keep the window open. And they're going to keep doing what they're doing. This is not the only year that the Mets are going to be a problem.
Fair enough.
We'll see, though. We got to hold it out.
Agree to disagree.
And we'll resettle this argument come. I mean, when are you? It's when the postseason is like done and the standings are just finalized is when you'll start to understand it, or do you need a couple postseason games?
This is what I'll say, Nate. The time will come and you'll just know. I know we talked about the Mets maybe an episode or two ago where you said, well, does this mean they have to miss the playoffs altogether for this to be your case or your argument? Yeah. I don't have an answer for you right now, except that you'll just know. The Mets will Met thing, I'm not going to put a date on it. I'm not going to have a deadline. You'll just know. And you'll be watching it on TV and it'll click. And you'll think back to when I said this and you'll go, Kyle was right. This is exactly the moment that he's talking about. And
I'm not even a Mets
fan,
and I'm backing this up.
You'll just know. Hey, for the sake of time, let's get into these weekend previews. We got a couple series that we're highlighting. I won't call must-watch television because if you're a fan that only watches your home team, that's fine, that's cool, that's whatever. But if you're somebody who's looking for some ball to check out, but you're not really sure what's worth watching, don't worry, we've saved you the trouble. We've each picked a series that we're gonna run through here real quick, give you some information that you can put in your back pocket. I'll go ahead and start. The series I got, you got the Giants and Padres. You got two forces in the National League West going head-to-head for a 4-gamer. Game 1, you got Logan Webb, who's 7-3 with a 3.13. He's got an opponent batting average right now at 236. His last game was a loss in which he went 6 innings, gave up 3 runs on 6 hits, had 5 Ks and a walk. He's going up against Joe Musgrove, who's 8-2 with a 2.25 ERA. His opponents are hitting 203 off him. He's also coming off a loss in which he went. This is tough. He went 7 innings, gave up 3 runs on 5 hits, had 10 Ks, and only had 1 walk. Game 2 for the Giants has yet to be determined who they got going in Game 2. He's going up against whoever that is going up against Blake Snell, who is 0-5 this year. 5 ERA of 5.13. He's hitting 235, or opponents are hitting 235. Coming off a no decision, he went 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 run, 12 Ks,
and that's better.
4 walks.
That's better because he has been absolutely brutal to watch in certain starts. The last start is hopefully something, start of something good, but he's got to get his command figured out. He is all over the map, dude. He's all over the map.
Yeah. I mean that Harper incident was just, I think,
he doesn't know where it's going right now.
Picture
he has
perfect
no idea
case.
where it's going.
No. If you're only able to catch one game this weekend, I would
Game 3.
suggest Game 3. You got Carlos Rodon, who's 7-5, ERA at 2.87. Opponents are hitting 2.13 off of him. He's coming off a loss in which he went 5 innings, gave up 4 runs on 5 hits, 7 Ks, and 2 walks. He's going up against Yu Darvish, who's 7-4 with a 3.53. Opponents are hitting 2.21. Also coming off a loss, 6 innings pitched, 5 earned runs on 8 hits, 10 Ks, and no walks.
I think Yu's starting to lock things down. I know that was not a great start on his last one, but I think that he's just getting comfy in San Diego. Looks like, huh? This is a good year for him.
Yeah, he's starting to lock it in, which they need, especially down the stretch with the way that division.
Especially with
Game
Snell
4,
not being typical Snell.
Yeah. Game 4 wrapping it up on Sunday. Again, this is a 4-gamer. Game 1 is tonight, Thursday. Game 4, you got Alex Wood, the Giants, 5-7 with a 4.83 ERA. Opponents are hitting 276. He's coming off a no decision, 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 4 Ks, and no walks.
That's his style.
He's going up against Mackenzie Gore, who's looked exceptional this year as a rookie. Going up against any team not named the Colorado Rockies, apparently. He's 4-3. He's got a 3.18 ERA. Opponents are hitting 232 off him, coming off 5 2/3 innings outing where he allowed 1 run on 5 hits, 3 Ks, and 4 walks.
I think for me, I'm looking at Game 1. Logan Webb versus Musgrove. I think that's where my eyes are. That is solid.
Another good one, yeah.
Game 1 and Game 3 are going to be
good one for sure. Game 1 and Game 3. Highlighting a couple guys keep your eye on. Jock Peterson for the Giants is 4 for his last 17. This is over the course of his last 5 games. 4 for 17. Has not had much pop. No home runs in his last 5 games. He's got 2 ribbies and 5 Ks.
I think he's clearly one of those guys that will step up in big moments. He will never shy away from the spotlight, and this is a spotlight
without
series.
a doubt. And then on the flip side, you got Manny Machado. As I mentioned earlier, he's not swinging it super great right now. He's 2 for his last 15. No home runs, no RBIs, and he has 7 Ks over his last 5 games. So I'm sure he'll be looking to turn around this series. But all in all, that's a series I'm highlighting this weekend.
Yeah.
So be sure to check it out.
Well, mine's kind of obvious. Yankees Sox. I think the last time they played, the Sox were just not at all what they were, what everyone was expecting. And now they're starting to turn it around for sure. So that's my series. Game 1, you got Garrett Cole versus Josh. Help me here. Winkowski. Garrett Cole, 7-2 on the year, 2.99 ERA. Opponents hitting 198. His last start was in Cleveland. He went 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 6 Ks. But we know, there's this Fenway's going to be rocking. Him warming up before this game, it's going to be a playoff type atmosphere. It really will. This is tonight, Thursday on the 7th. So keep your eye out for that. But Winkowski looks pretty decent. Am I right? He's 3-2, 3.12 ERA. Opponents are hitting 290 against him. But he's coming off a good start. On July 2nd, he went 6 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, and 6 Ks. So I think you're starting to see a little magic in the Red Sox kind of rotations. Just step up and do your thing, right? It's kind of what it seems like lately. The offense is going to be the offense. It's always going to be there. But I think pitchers are just, if you can get production out of somebody, it's been happening. Game 2, I like this little matchup here. Nestor Cortez. Oh, nasty Nesta. 7-3 this year, 2.44 ERA. Opponents have been hitting a little better against him lately, 199. He also threw on the 2nd of July against Cleveland. There's a doubleheader. He went 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 6 Ks. And he's going against Michael Wacha, who's been really good this year. 6-1, 2.69 ERA. Hitting 215 are the opposing hitters. And on June 28th against Toronto, he went 5 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, 2 Ks. So just a little bit of a tough outing, but I think overall, you can attest to this. He's had a really good year. More than what they expected, I would say. I think that acquisition was like all right, he'll be a good 4 or 5 starter. He's looking like a solid 2 right now.
Yeah.
Game 3, it's Jordan Montgomery against we're not too sure yet, to be determined. Do you have any idea on Game 3 starter?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. Haven't looked out that far yet.
Well, Jordan Montgomery is 3-2 on the year. Kind of similar story. He's really rough on run support. But he's got a 3.19 ERA. Opponents are hitting 226 against him. On July 3rd against Cleveland, he went 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 8 Ks. So, again, just another guy having a really solid year for the Yankee staff. Someone who's been absolutely struggling lately is Jameson Taillon. These numbers don't necessarily reflect it on the year, but he's going game 4 for the Yanks. He's 9-2, 3.63 ERA. Opponents are hitting 264 against him. And on July 5th against Pittsburgh, just the other day, his return to Pittsburgh. I don't know if you saw they did a little thing for him, gave him a little shout out. The Pirates did, so pretty cool. But he got lit up a little bit. 5 1/3, 6 hits, 5 earned runs, no walks, 5 Ks. So he got pieced together a little bit. But he's going against Nick Pivetta, who's also had a pretty good year. 8-6 this year, 3.68 ERA. Opponents are hitting 221. And on July 5th against Tampa, he went 5 2/3, 8 hits, 7 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 Ks. So both of those guys are looking to make some bounce back starts. I think honestly the 2 stars are kind of obvious here. 2 MVP candidates. Aaron Judge, over his last 5 games, he did have a really good game last night against Pittsburgh, but he's overall kind of been scuffling the last couple weeks. But the last 5 games, he's 5 for 16, 1 home run, 5 RBIs, 4 strikeouts. And Rafi Devers, I already mentioned him earlier. Seems like he's kind of same thing, just kind of cooled off a little bit. But again, both these guys like to live up to the the limelight and the big series and things like that. So keep an eye out for him. But he's 6 of 23 on his last 5 games. No home runs, only 1 rib, and 6 strikeouts. So both of those guys looking to make a little bit of a bounce back. But I do like this series. I personally, my best favorite game in this is going to be Garrett Cole returning game 1. Returning since that, rough start at the beginning of the year. I think he struggled again at the beginning of the year, and he was obviously not good in the wild card game. So I think Red Sox fans will never let him forget. It's never going to be a thing that Red Sox fans will let slip, and he is going to be constantly hounded. And look, this is the expectation, and this is Steinbrenner mentality. All you got to do is do well against the Red Sox. We don't care what else you do, but you need to do well against the Red Sox. So I'm interested to see what this looks like.
This is the first series since the opening series, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Because they got, 16 left between each other between now and the end of the season?
They had that one series at the start of the year, and that was it.
Which was in the Bronx. So this will be Cole's first game back since the wild card game, which will be interesting because it's no mystery that the Red Sox cannot figure out American League East baseball right now. I don't know what it is.
I think that's the other thing.
The division
that intrigues me about this.
The reason I brought that up, another reason that makes this series interesting, because otherwise you're looking at going, well, the Yankees have the division on lock. Well, yes, but it's also a test for the Red Sox to be like, can we figure this out against the American League East and against the Yankees, much less. Like, you're gonna, if you want to be a threat down the stretch and into October, this is probably a team you're gonna need to figure it out against. Because if you can't do it against these guys, well then, hate to break it to you.
What would you consider a split for the Red Sox, a successful series?
Well, I was going to ask you, because I'm not going to lie, it's the weekend.
I'm fired up.
I'm feeling
fired
good.
up. This is a good matchup, man.
Do you want to put maybe some sort of wager on this?
I'm with it. I'm okay with that. I mean, honestly, I don't know specifically what's been going on with the Red Sox. I do know I know the Yankees just put up 16 against the Pirates last night, but offensively, it's been tough. So, but yeah, I'm with it. I'm down for a little wager. What do you want to do?
Sox have been scuffing a little bit.
Have they?
But
okay.
Hey, no team better to turn it around against.
I think this is what you get in July.
Bronx
This is what you get in
Bombers.
July, and this is, typically this is All-Star weekend most of the time, isn't it? So it's pushed back a couple weeks, and I think you're seeing guys.
Yeah, next week.
Fatigue. What do we want to put on the line here?
I don't know. It's interesting because it's a 4-gamer.
Yeah.
So, like, you got but look, somebody's going to win this series. Somebody's going to lose this series. We're not looking at a split. I
don't want a split. Nobody wants a split. Sucks. Might as well call it a tie.
This series will not be split. I could see the Padres and Giants splitting. We're not seeing a split here with the Sox and Yankees. We're just not.
Yeah.
What do you think? You got anything you want to?
It's so tough because of this first start. I do think if Garrett Cole gets rattled and gets lit up, and I don't know what is going on in his noggin this year, but I've never seen a softer Garrett Cole. I've never seen like a more rattled loss of composure on a regular basis from a guy. This dude is just...
I'm looking forward to...
I don't know what's going on with him.
I'm looking forward to seeing what, quote, unforeseen circumstance pops up this series. That'll be fun.
What do you mean?
Remember?
Just like a little excuse or something
earlier this season. 4-minute delay, and he's called it an unforeseen circumstance.
I think people underestimate the fact that what you don't see on coverage before you're watching the game is these starting pitchers in the bullpen in most stadiums are just getting absolutely hounded. And you can bet it's so close. Fenway is literally like you could spit and hit players in that bullpen. It's right there. He is going to be hounded the entire time. And I'm sure Carabas is going to find his way out there. Like it's going to be a postseason environment, and I need him to figure it out. So, I don't know. What's the wager? What are we putting on the line? And what are we having to make a prediction here? I mean, obviously we're going to choose our team.
Well, it'll just be whoever wins the series. And I mean, if you can think of something, I'll be down with it. I won't fight it. I feel like it's got to be something for the pod, like something either we have to do or say on air. Something maybe we have to come dressed as.
I think we have to prepare a little book report, and you have to pick a legend from the other team, and you have to spend a good 5 minutes on the next episode just rattling off why they are the greatest player ever. I think that's how it's got to go. It's got to hurt. It's got to hurt to the core.
Well, if it's got to hurt, if it's okay, let's do this. If it's going to hurt, it has to be somebody from this century, because I would almost enjoy giving you a book report on somebody like Joe DiMaggio. I'm going to need somebody from like this century.
Okay. All right. We'll keep it to that. 2000 or later.
All right. No, let's do this. Let's just pick the players right now.
I think we got to pick for each other, no? Right?
That's fair. Okay, that's fair. So somebody from this century.
Okay. I could be real mean and just make you go heavy on A-Rod.
I mean, I was thinking like Brett Gardner. That's the route you're going to take. But
Brett Gardner, man, that's mean. You hate Brett Gardner. Is that your least favorite Yankee of this century?
This century? No, I mean A-Rod for sure. But I mean, Brett Gardner is probably a close 1B.
All right, I'll go Brett Gardner, just because I don't think anyone else wants to hear about A-Rod. But the angry thumb is going to be is going to get the gold treatment from you.
I'm thinking you're going to have to give me a book report.
There's a name that I have in mind, and I really hope you don't choose him. I really hope.
A name that I'd considered was Jonathan Papelbon.
Oh, yeah. I hated him.
Joe Kelly is another one.
He still bugs me a little bit.
I'm curious. Who is the name?
I'm not telling you, because we can't. You have to choose, and then I'll let you know. I'm not telling you.
Not Kurt Schilling. Kurt Schilling's the name. That's who you're thinking of.
You going Kurt?
No. That's who you're thinking of. I don't know, man.
I'll tell you after.
Josh Beckett. That's who you're thinking of.
Can't stand Beckett either, though.
This century. I'm trying
to pick one, and I'll let you know. And I'll give you the option. If you want to switch, you can switch.
Can you just tell me who
Jacoby
the name
Ellsbury.
is?
Because of the fact that he was absolutely atrocious as a Yankee. And everything I'd be reading off about that guy's career is just all about what he did with Boston. It hits different. Because, like, if you chose Damon helped win a ring. So, like, he only bugs me so much. You know what I mean? Jacoby Ellsbury was a gigantic flop. Just an absolute failure. And it was like you tried to, like... That's like you trying to date someone to piss off your ex kind of thing. And that's what the Yankees did, and it backfired. It blew up in their face. That's what bugs me so much.
Ooh. Sleeper pick, AJ Pierzynski. You know what? That's it. That's my pick. AJ Pierzynski.
Ew.
Good luck.
Ew.
Red Sox legend.
Is he?
Not at all.
That's mean. A little book report. And we gotta be big fanboys for this.
2014 Red Sox legend, AJ Pierzynski.
one year. What did he play? 60 games?
72 games.
Delightful.
Legend. Good luck.
Just the worst in the
wager?
booth, too. I hate listening to that guy.
So what is it? AJ Pierzynski?
Brett Gardner.
Brett Gardner. Love that. All right.
How deep is that book?
That does it for baseball.
We're going like childhood.
We'll talk about it off air. We'll talk about it off.
Grew up in a small town in Connecticut.
Wrapping up this episode, Nate. Just a quick little deep dive into the Loch Ness Monster, the 3-0 fake, number 8.
What? Do I need to keep going? Keep going? Oh, you want me to say it? The Loch Ness Monster, the 3-0 fake.
There it is. All right. Look, I'm just going to go ahead. I'm just going to go right out and say it. I saw a clip that was referenced regarding the Loch Ness Monster. It's called. There have been multiple reported sightings over the years, and there was a clip. It's called the Holmes video. HOLMES.
Okay.
It's from back in 2007. Okay. He videotaped what he called this, quote, jet black thing. It was reported that it was about 46 feet long, moving fairly fast in the water. I saw the clip. I don't know what it could be. But I'm not going to say that it's not the Loch Ness Monster.
Really? Where, can I find the clip somewhere?
Yeah, just type in HOLMES, the Holmes video, Loch Ness Monster.
All right.
Apparently there's a picture. Oh, I need to see this.
Where? Which one?
Which video?
Talking about? Is it the October 26th of 2021? Sam Holmes sailing?
It's from 15 years ago. This guy. That guy.
What a gem of a haircut. I typed in Holmes video Loch Ness Monster, and I'm not getting much.
It should say Nessie - Loch Ness Monster footage, May 28th, 2007. That's the title.
Nessie. Found it. All right. Let me get in on this real quick. I mean, overall, it's supposed to be like a dragon. Is that what we're saying?
Some creature. So if you scroll 2 minutes and 55 seconds in, you'll see it.
I see a little something at a minute 15. Okay. This guy is a goober, though, for sure.
2 minutes and 55 seconds. Why does
2007 look like it's 1996 over in Scotland?
Times are changing, man.
2 minutes and 56 seconds, huh?
Yeah, you may have to wait a little bit. Have you not seen it yet?
Coming up on it. 252, 253. Okay. All right. I mean, that does look large. How big is this lake or whatever?
I don't know, but the thing in the water, I don't know what that could be. People said it could have been a seal. They said
it didn't look like 36 feet. That's for sure.
A water bird. Yeah, well, nobody really knows. Sightings have dated back to 565.
Okay.
The 6th century.
What's up with like this surgeon's photograph is like the main picture that you see, but it's also been debunked. But it looks like a duck. It doesn't even look like a big monster. It just looks like a duck.
No, it doesn't look like a duck. It looks like what are those dinosaurs with the long necks called?
One of those, yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. What are those called?
No, I know what you mean. I just
Yeah, I know which
one it is. It's just, I know the T-Rexes and the Velociraptors. I know the cool ones. I don't know the lame herbivores.
Brontosaurus, Is that what I'm thinking of?
Google Street View in 2015.
Yeah, hold up. I need to see this. Oh, yeah, I've seen this. What is that?
What's Google?
Why are there humps on the back of it? That's, I don't know, dude.
Is that an image or
Oh, it's an image. It is an image.
Which one? What does it look like?
Keep up, guy. The Google Street View.
That's what I typed in.
I just sent it to you. What is that?
Yeah, what is that? Why can't we get it like a bird's eye? Google.
Dude, I'm totally all in on this being a thing. Because, like we've talked about, what percentage of the waters on this planet have yet to be
like 80%.
Explored.
That's the ocean, at least 80% of the ocean has been unexplored. This is why I don't mess with deep water scenarios, dude. I just if I can't see my feet below me, I'm not in there.
It's one of my biggest fears, man. Deep, dark water, and it's because you got freaking things like this swimming around.
And it's always cold there, so there's not going to be a whole bunch of swimmers. I think I'm...
Yeah, and they take full advantage. They say, there's nobody coming in here. I'm going to go out.
I might be in. Maybe. I might be in on Loch Ness. Oh, Nessie.
I'm in, man. I'm all in on Loch Ness.
You watch How I Met Your Mother, right? When he gets all excited about, we're going to go see Nessie for their honeymoon.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. It's a thing.
I think I'm in on it.
I mean, I don't know what they were tripping on back in 565. I don't know if maybe they were just seeing stuff in the 6th century. I don't know what kind of pharmaceuticals they were.
Yeah, what if it was like 4 feet long, by the way? What if it was just like a super underwhelming small dinosaur?
I mean, a small dinosaur in the year 2022 is still pretty noteworthy.
Yeah, crocodiles and stuff and sea turtles.
Yeah, we've seen those, but we have yet to,
like to know what
grasp
Nessie
hold of the Loch Ness Monster.
You know?
I'm all in on this, man. I'm all in on the Loch Ness. Pull up, if you're interested in pursuing this, pull up the Google Street View picture, explain to me what the heck that is, and then pull up the clip that I was telling you about, the Holmes video, HOLMES. the Holmes video. You'll see the clip. I couldn't tell you. Don't want to know. You won't find me in those waters, friend. You won't find me in those waters. Nate, that's a quick recap of
I'm in on Nessie.
The 3-0 fake number 8, Loch Ness Monster. I'm in on Nessie. I'm all about Nessie. It's a weekend. Let's get weird. Why not? Nate, we're gonna have special guests next episode.
We are. I'm excited.
Not gonna share the name, but
and it's a guest. This is not an interview. This is gonna be just a guest spot. You're gonna hear his takes. You're gonna hear how he thinks, and it's not gonna be like a "where'd you grow up, what'd you eat for breakfast" kind of thing. So we're excited.
We are excited. So that will be Monday. So tune in for that, episode 294. That will be. But unless you got anything else for Chasers, that'll push us to the weekend.
Look, I mean, I think everyone just needs to stay inside and watch baseball this weekend. You know, got a lot going on this summer. I think this is a weekend you just take off, you watch some baseball. You're a little fat. I'm going the opposite direction. Your boy is cutting out a lot in the diet, so we're gonna slim up. Be a little lean and mean. I didn't like the way Papa looked without a beard, so I was like, oh boy, we got some work to do. Yeah, we got to tighten it up a little bit. So, but I'll still be watching baseball, and you should too. So, while you're at it, don't go chasing curveballs.
Get ready for that book report, my friend. We love y'all, and as always, looking forward to talking more baseball with you guys soon. Until next time, stay filthy.